I'm Jesper, and this week's video is going to be slightly different. It's November, which is Toontrack's Metal Month. Now, Toontrack make the EZDrummer2 program, which is what I use to track guitars to and how I make all my demos. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that process, how I use the program and what it can do. So let's get started. Now, first of all, I load up Logic and I load up a software instrument. Now, you can use any DAW you want, so long as it accepts MIDI. So we'll create this here, and we'll go to the AU instruments, and we go to EZDrummer on Toontrack. Now you've got two options, which is stereo or multi-output. Select multi-output, and I'll show you really quickly why that's what you want to do. Now, this is what you get first off. This is the normal drum kit and the screen you'll be presented with when you load it up. Your different drum kits are here. Now I've bought the Metal Machine, the Progressive and the Rock Solid packs. Just for a little bit, we'll work in Progressive. It's the latest one I've got and I quite like the sounds in it. All this here is the different preset mixes. I'll show you the mix screen after we load it up. So let's load up Metal-esque just to start off with. So here's the drum kit. It's all sort of different samples basically. So let's go to the mixer. This is the setup that you've got. Now the first thing we want to do is use that multi-output so we can treat the drum kit like it was a real drum kit that's mic'd up. So we load up our mixer and see this little plus sign here? Just click that. We want to create 8 auxes. And these will be our kick, if I can spell it right, kick, snare, that'll be the hats, that'll be the toms, then we've got the overheads, room, the compression from the actual program, and then it's got some built-in room reverb as well. So once you've done that, you need to start sending each of the individual elements there. So you click this little bit here, so kick in and the kick out, so that's sending that to, as you can see, right there, that's coming out of there now. And then we send the snare, the hats, and just keep going through. How do we get to 6, 7, 8, 9? Don't worry that you've got 8 auxes and you're going from 2 to 9. The first output, it classes the actual channel strip itself. So that's that done, and we can now go into the browser. The browser is basically a lot of already pre-drummed sort of MIDI loops that you can use, which is a really good basis to start off with. So let's stay with the progressive one for the moment, and let's say go to... You can just try different loops. So let's say that's the one we want. Let's just say that's the one we decided. Click and drag it onto Logic, and you can just play that. And as you can see down there as well, each individual element is being sent to the correct place. So we can solo the kick, or the snare. So we can do that. Now, you can create different loops and different sections, and you can create the songs from there if that's what you want to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. So we've already got 2 different sections. But the cool thing is that you can change what's being played. So let's open up piano roll on your first loop. So this is everything that's being played. Now let's say the second half, which is pretty much exactly the same, we want it to go double kick. Now there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can use a little sample pad to trigger each individual element. What I personally like doing is just using the Logic's pencil tool just to pop them all in. Now this is like the most time consuming and fiddly bit, but it's really cool how flexible this program is. So let's say that's just all we want for the moment. Where have I put that? That's there. And we can just continue making changes. And we'll add a little snare roll at the end. So it's a pretty flexible way round of doing things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go off and I'm going to record some guitars and show you how we end up building the next stage of the demo. Right, so I've gone away and I've done left and right double tracking guitars. It's a really simple riff. I've chosen a different drum loop as well to record over it, and then the second half, which is this bit here, I've done the editing in the piano roll with the pencil tools that I showed you previously. Before I start though, it is worth mentioning what I've done here. I've taken the kick, snare and the toms and I've sent them to another bus where I'm doing parallel compression. And the EZDrummer program does have compression and also reverb built into it as well in some of the mixes, but using the multi-out you can really treat it like a proper drum kit with proper mics, and you can send it out to use really nice compressors. If you don't know how to do parallel compression, the way that I basically do it is take a limiter and crush the signal down so the kick and the snare are hitting at the same level. Then I take a compressor with a large ratio, a large attack and a very quick release. That sounds like this. And in the mix it sounds like. So you can really hear it when I put it in and out. And then I've also sent pretty much everything else to a reverb as well, because I like big swooshy reverbs, which sounds like this. It's got a really nice tail to that. Anyway, so let's have a listen to this terrible riff that I've done. So that's pretty much what I've done. It's taken me about 5-10 minutes to do. Nothing particularly special. But I am going to show you something else that EZDrummer does, which is pretty cool. So load up the interface. Now, say listening to the track, maybe you don't like the kick. You can literally select the kick and you can change what it sounds like, even its pitch. I do have enough memory, stop telling me that. Sorry, my Mac's a little bit. Anyway, so, but it doesn't actually matter what kick we have because we can choose different kits as well. So we can mix and match between the kits. Now, this is the one I typically use. It's got a really nice click to it. So all I've done is loaded that up and hear the difference already, and essentially again treating this like a real drum kit. If you don't like the kick in the studio, swap out the kick. It's as simple as that, really. So what I'm going to do is, because with the way that I'd normally do demos, I get a riff idea, play it a few times, then I find a drum beat in EZDrummer that fits what I'm doing, and then I'll track the guitars to it, and then I'll sort of cut up the drum track, add bits, take things away, so that it works perfectly with what I've got. So I'm going to show you a little demo of a song that Genesis Arc are sort of working on. We're not sure if it's going to come to anything at the moment, but we've just finished the tracking for it, all the vocals and everything. So you can have a listen to, it's still fairly unmixed, but you can listen to what this drum kit would sound like with different layers of guitars, vocals and strings as well. Right then, so this is a demo track that I've been working on with the band for a little while. Not sure if anything's going to come of it yet, but it's like fully fleshed out, so you can see different sections of the drums, and they've been better mixed, like the kick and the snare have been EQ'd and compressed as well. Parallel compression has been set just right, and the reverb mixes in quite nicely, so a lot more time and effort has gone into this. So I'll just play you a little section so you can hear. There's like left and right guitars and centre guitars, and there's vocals and there's orchestra, so you can hear sort of how it sounds. So here's a little section. So yeah, there's just a little section for you. So if we go back to the start of that, just solo what the drums are doing. So, bearing in mind this is a demo where pretty much everything has been recorded either in kitchens or my bedroom, it's an incredibly flexible tool that allows me to just get anything that I want out. Right, so that's just a very brief overview of the EZDrummer2 software and how I use it to write and record songs. It's a very flexible piece of software that I found very easy to integrate into my recording setup. Pretty much every Genesis Arc song has started with this software, and then the song's been built up around it. It's very easy to dial in a great drum sound from the go, and it's adaptable in just about any situation as well. The sample loops, they're great as well. I've come up with riffs around them that I probably wouldn't have come up with on my own. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you found it useful.